Hi, I'm Crystal, and I'm here to talk about some basically free paper storage that is hiding in your pantry. And I'm talking, of course, about empty food boxes. So I'm starting with an empty cereal box. I am not the cereal eater in my household, but my husband is. And this cereal box is about 11 inches by 7 by 2. I'm going to put the measurements up in centimeters if you are in a country that uses the metric system. I am still salty that I had to learn that in school and don't get a chance to use it in real life. This is not quite wide enough from left to right to hold 8.5 by 11 paper, but the boxes are plenty big enough for smaller scrapbook paper pads. So I'm going to cut the box down just a little bit. I've marked 8.5 inches on one side and 5 on the other, and I've drawn a line across the front and back on a diagonal using my ruler. I know if I try to eyeball this, it will not be straight. So these lightweight cereal boxes are very easy to cut with scissors. So I'm just going to trim down to those lines that I have marked using a ruler on every side of the box. And this is going to give me a box that will hold an 8 by 6 paper pad or a 6 by 6 paper pad. Not wide enough for 8 by 8, but it's going to hold those smaller pads very nicely. Now I've got this little scrap that is just the right width to reinforce the bottom, and I'm going to do that because there is a seam across the bottom, and I don't want to drop paper out of the bottom of the box at some future point. Now I've got some decorative paper. I could just embrace the cereal box. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But since I've got this opportunity to decorate, why not? My decorative paper is some leftover contact paper with a white background. So that cereal labeling on the outside of the box is going to show through the contact paper. So I'm going to start with a layer of copy paper just to cover up the branding, and then I'm going to cover with the contact paper. So I don't really remember why I bought the contact paper in the first place. I got it at Dollar Tree long ago. So it was quite inexpensive, and I've used most of it for some long ago project. My scrap isn't quite perfect. I'm going to have to cut a little scrap for the front of the box, but that's okay. This would also be a good application for leftover wrapping paper or craft paper. So once I've got all of the contact paper applied, this project is complete. It was a very quick project. Even without the magic of high-speed editing on video, I think it took me 20 minutes from beginning to end, and I've got perfect paper storage for basically no money. So I think this is going to be a nice addition to the craft room and a big improvement over the flat storage in a banker's box that I was using before. That was awkward to dig through. So I hope this has been useful or entertaining. But either way, I appreciate your time, and I thank you for joining me today.